Oh man, that's a skill.
Is it fixed?
Applications. Fine.
Is it fixed?
Oh man, that's funny.
skill.
Sorry, I mean,
Applications. Fine.
it's not happening to me, therefore it is
Okay.
funny. Does that
What
make
happened
sense?
for a week?
Am I an asshole?
Who the fuck would
What happened
hard
for a
disk
week?
partitions? Oh, sorry. What?
Who had what for a week and fucked it up?
Oh, my brother. Did you miss the USB story?
Oh no. I didn't know you were still talking about it.
No. Well, I found more problems. So
Oh,
Yes. His brother.
like
His
Mac
brother.
OS on
A
Windows.
Mac OS.
No.
No, sorry. I didn't. He installed Windows. It was just the site I was using was trying to tell me how to do it on a Mac OS, and I was being very confused. I don't want four
Wait, it
ways.
was-
I want one way.
It was telling you how to install Windows on a Mac. Okay.
No, okay, no. So I googled how do you wipe a USB, and the first site that came up was telling me instructions how to do it from a Mac. So I had to clarify Windows. All right. I don't want to download something. Fuck off. There's got to be an option here. This site is bullshit. No, we're finding another one. Fuck you. I hate you now in principle. All right, we'll try that. Free download. Fuck off. No.
I mean,
You're
you
looking-
should just be able to delete it directly from the window that shows you what's inside of it.
Well, it's empty is the thing.
Ah.
From the regular view, I open the folder and it's completely empty. But then I open like its storage usage and it's got stuff that's being used.
Huh.
System and reserved. You can't see it. How do I? Oh my god! I forgot they had Windows Edge. I forgot that existed. I clicked Get Help and open Windows Edge, and I don't know if I want to anymore. Oh, it's so broken! Oh my god! So you know how in the top right corner of a Chrome or whatever your browser is, you have the minimize, the
Yes.
maximize and cross. So those aren't visible unless you hover over them.
Oh,
And then they only
my
pop up
God.
one at a time. So I was like, how do I close this
One at a
fucking
time!
window? And I put my mouse to the top right, and this X popped up, and I was like, wait a second. And you can only look at one of them at a time.
Okay,
Oh,
I
that's.
can kind of
that's-
understand that.
Oh man, that's the.
Like on aesthetic purposes, but that should be a setting for like that you can turn on.
Oh, I love it. I fucking. You know what I love? I love counterproductive minimalism. That shit's my jam. Like taking away things because you're out, like taking things away from a UI because you're out of ideas into how to actually improve things. But you got a deadline and a new product needs to be shipped. So, take away buttons. You don't need them. Put them
Yeah.
behind like a drop-down menu. There you go.
Yeah, I
That's
didn't
what people
need
want.
quick, easy access
A
to
context menu, exactly.
Yeah.
Context menus, your friend. Like people, like everything forever is going to be a everything now into forever is going to be a touchscreen. So just people like touching things.
I don't. I want a big giant fucking list in a search bar, thank you. Hand it over. Fucking hand
Ooh,
it over.
you know what? You know what we learned from Fable 3? Diegetic UI.
I wiped it and it got worse! How did you get more stuff? I just formatted you. What's going on? It's like doubled the amount of stuff it has in it.
Yeah. Now diegetic UI for Freaky's audience who may be too young to have experienced this is I guess a more modern example would be what they do in Titanfall. Or what they did in Titanfall. I don't know if Titanfall still exists. But you
I
have to
remember it.
walk over to the guy. No, it wasn't like the anthem, the new anthem. There we go. The new anthem.
Nobody knows anything about Anthem. Anthem curled up and died so fast.
Exactly. There we go. But apparently,
I
Like
would
in
say
that
it's,
game,
something very simple is like the number of bullets left in the gun for the assault rifle in Halo. That's diegetic. Or Isaac Clarke's health bar being a light on his spine.
Oh, where it's like,
kind of like the UI
Let
is
everyone who
in,
he's fighting know how close to death the guy they're fighting is.
like
Well,
But
the
good for
information is
playing.
part, like the user information is part of the environment, basically
yeah.
part of the environment and the aesthetics.
Quick
Now,
thing.
you two just listed two really good uses of diegetic user interface. There's the pips on Isaac Clarke's back, his spine of health, and the number counter on, like, literally on the assault rifle in Halo.
The actual visible damage to the vehicles in Halo 3 and 2 that replaced the health bar
That's
that
another.
existed in Halo 1.
Yes, that is another fantastic use of diegetic user interface. But what I'm talking is what was done in Fable 3 back in the day, in which literally everything you did when you press the pause button, right? When you press the pause button, or what used to be like a context menu for your character stuff, it transported you back into like a magical Narnia closet
Oh no.
in which John Cleese was your narrator. Now that, in and of itself, not so bad. I mean, John Cleese is fantastic. But to change your items, you had to walk into a room, interact with a weapon rack, and select your items. To change your armor, you had to walk into another room, talk to a fashion dummy, and put together a new set of clothing or armor. And you had to do this for every single inventory change, practically. Oh yeah! Oh
That-
yeah! You just you heard that little laugh cry from Freaky.
Mhm.
Yeah, Freaky gets it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the genius of Peter. That was the genius of Peter Molyneux in Fable 3.
Dragon Ball.
The one that destroyed Fable.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And Xenoverse 1 to an extent. Oh, do you want to change your mentor options? Please walk your ass across half of Canton City, or fly. It always feels way too slow either way. Talk to Little Robot. Oh, you want to do a parallel quest? Go to the parallel quest desk in Canton City. Canton City is huge, by the way. To like fly at full speed from one half of it to the other half would take you a full minute and a half. And you had to go to desks to like do quests. If you wanted to like change a mentor option, do that. If you wanted to switch mentors, you had to memorize where on the fucking map they were and fly over to them and talk to them.
Oh man! But you want to know? Oh man, that's gnarly. But you want to know what it isn't?
What?
It's not three quote unquote ugly, boring menus that you have to, navigate in seconds. It's so much more interactive, and it pads out the gaming. It pads out.
Yeah.
You know what?
Adore
You don't need
Morrowind's UI.
You don't need buttons, motherfucker. You need to talk to a dwarf behind a desk.
I would rather
I don't know.
Morrowind UI.
I don't know. Dragon Ball Z has a lot of dwarves. I've never played Xenoverse.
Dwarves.
I don't know. Is it like some sort of like little green guy behind a desk?
Namekian. No, it's usually robots. Little orbular robots with arms and legs with the Capsicorp.
Okay, so
on them.
mecha dwarves. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The closest thing you have to a dwarf in Dragon Ball is Krillin, and he's just, he's just a small man, a midget, a small person, whatever the fuck have you, with no nose. Canonically no nose. He actually won a fight because he has no nose. He doesn't have anime nose. He has no nose.
No. Oh man, I love that.
we all
Toriyama
I
was
think I
just like,
remember
I'm just
watching
gonna
that. The
brace
guy
the
was just
design.
so disgusting that no one wanted to touch him.
Bacterian.
And that you want to know what that was? I haven't seen first Dragon Ball, but I'm willing to bet that that's just Toriyama having fun with his own design.
Toriyama
That
is
was back
quite
when it was
literally
that was
the
back when it was
shitpost
a
king.
gag manga.
Yeah, so original Dragon Ball was a
And the only time
gag
it was good.
adventure. Well, GT actually successfully recaptured some of that, not very well, but it did. Oh, and back to a note I made on the Dead Space HP bar. In realistic-ish combat, that would actually be incredibly useful to have the health bar on the back. Like, the machine is constantly checking the soldier's well-being and shows, like, this person is in danger or this person is okay. Because in actual combat, anytime a firefight goes down and people weren't in cover, there's literally somebody in the squad who has to check everyone up and down looking for blood and holes and shit to make sure they're not just, so hopped up on adrenaline they haven't noticed they've been shot. But with that device, you literally on everyone's back, which usually your own team's gonna be standing behind you, you see the little, this is how they're doing. I know what you're saying, show them how close the other guy is to death, but here's the thing. If you have somebody in your sights, and long enough and easy enough for you to see the glowy thing on their back, they're already dead.
Yeah,
You've already pulled the trigger.
As cool as that is, well, go ahead.
There's also the fact that combat in that game is completely incidental. Like, he's an engineer. He's not supposed to be in combat.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
that is engineer armor.
Well, and
I want to specify here that, first of all, I had no idea what fandom you're talking about. What IP, sorry. Dead Space. Okay, there you go.
Clark.
I was assuming we were talking about some kind of game where it's like, alright, you have to shoot this guy 50,000 times in order for him to die, just because, and you have to shoot your enemies 50,000 times in order for them to die.
No,
like
you die in
most
about
games
2
work.
hits in Dead Space. But anyway,
yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense then.
On Isaac Clarke's armor, he does get access to security personnel military-grade armor later in the game, and the engineer suit, that is still valuable on an engineer suit in a zero-gravity environment in places like that, because let's say some guy he's got, like, his arm stuck in a thing, and he's injured, and he's knocked out, like there's a breach in his suit or something, you're going to see that thing ticking down, you're going to know he's in danger, go help him. You'll know something is up from a distance easily while they're up on a fucking railing in a zero-G environment, trying to laser cut something, and they've just sliced their hand off and immediately lost consciousness from the shock.
Oh yeah, that's why it glows.
Yeah,
so it can be visible.
That's still incredibly valuable there, and as somebody who understands OSHA regulation and factory work, things like that, they would be chomping at the bit, drooling for technology like that to just be tacked onto the back of every worker.
Yeah, speaking of which, is it like Isaac Clarke actually supposed to be like? He was basically not really. He was on that cruise acting pretty much like Space OSHA. He wasn't a miner. He was like an engineer, right?
So
he's an engineer. The whole reason was because, like, oh hey, the planet cracker that my girlfriend is on isn't responding and hasn't been responding for like a month. Oh shit, we need to go see if everyone's okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just going so that I can check to see if my girlfriend is alive.
Yeah, there's that, and like he
Yeah.
skewed the things, but realistically on the books, he's probably there as a consultant and specialist. Because like
that's what I'm talking about. Like the closest that he's
just there. There are 2 engineers, there's 2 soldiers, and there's the leader of the mission. He's just there to like help get the ship back and running. See, like, because obviously, if they haven't been responding for like a month and a half, then either everyone's dead or something has broken down that they can't personally fix. So either way, they've got it covered with 2 soldiers and 2 engineers.
Okay, so like, did EarthGov like ask for volunteers or something?
No, I think they were assigned it, and Isaac has volunteered.
Yeah, He's
well.
most likely a competent individual in accordance with OSHA.
Yeah.
He
No,
qualifies
I think
both,
it's established
but,
that I think it's actually established that Isaac is like one of the single best engineers in
Yeah.
EarthGov.
And yeah, well, a competent individual is quite literally somebody who'd be able to recognize a hazard or a requirement.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, look.
But he'd also be qualified.
The tram trolley. The
Yeah.
very first like puzzle you do
He both.
for the tram trolley, to actually get it like working and shit to start moving around the ship. He's like, no railing, huh? Well, that's fine. Oh shit, necromorphs!
Yeah. It's
They're coming at the walls! That also don't have. Wow, these crates really should be bolted in place. Where are the bolts?
they are bolted in place. The necromorphs are just, slamming them down.
I
They're
will
very
say
strong.
there is one thing that I really like Dead Space. It's one of my favorite survival horror franchises, but there is something that the second game does, which I really, really don't like. Which is the fact that in the beginning of the game, like you're following, you're like in a, you're following a guy, and he's helping you out, and he's a soldier dude, and then all of a sudden, the grate slams open above him, and he's literally dragged into the grate. And
Oh, yeah.
that never happens again. Like you
It's Isaac
never
Clarke!
faced anything as dangerous as that in the entire rest of the game.
Oh
And
yeah.
I feel
It's
like-
Isaac Clarke. Get him! Gets stabbed in the back and dragged in, and then
Yeah, because
there
like,
is the
every
tactical
every other enemy will
burst out then attack.
burst
Roar,
out
then
and
attack.
then attack,
Yeah.
and they burst out. They either burst out of the grate directly in front of you, in which case like that's a much closer distance, or they burst out of a grate far enough away that you can hear, turn around, and look for them.
Yeah.
And it's in
Rah!
my head,
Isaac
it's-
Clarke, I'm here,
and
and
in
you
my-
can do something
in
about
my
me.
head, yeah, that's
Comical.
that's like a bit of bad
Also-
game design in my head, because
It's
in my head it should be the same way as Devil May Cry does it, where it's like if you see your character do something in a cutscene, you can do that in game.
Yeah.
Like,
What you're describing? What you are
should not,
describing?
in my mind, it should not show someone being attacked like immediately while the thing is still in the grate.
Yeah.
And you are never attacked while it is still.
Yeah.
There's two reasons
What
for
you're
that.
what you're describing is.
I can't be here for too much longer, so we should probably get started now that Comical's here.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right. But
Also,
I don't know
3
what you're
seconds.
talking about.
3-second update. I think I permanently broke my USB drive. I don't know what's going on with it. I can't open it anymore. It doesn't work. So I'm just gonna get my brother to buy me a new one for $15.
God, I'm laughing. I'm laughing out of sympathy because, goddamn, that sucks.
Yeah. So, who remembers?
Wait,
Right, zombie fight. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
we fought some zombies. It didn't go very well for Dirk, but it went pretty well for everyone else.
Actually, it worked out pretty well for me too.
I don't know
worked out
what
pretty
you're
well.
talking about. I only hit
Yeah.
3 times.
Well, yeah, but you didn't die. I mean, well, he didn't die either. You didn't get hit very much. You got hit like once or twice.
Once for 10.
Once.
It
There you go.
Dead Space is a resource management game. Attack from vent would be a resource tax, essentially. There's no call out. or
So, yeah, and then we went back to the camp. Dirk got his sickle, met a mute, maybe cursed, I don't know, druid. Got his sickle, had a dream quest vision, wherein he saw the locations of a bunch of the fragments of jade that make up the thing we're looking for. One of which we can actually get to. Yay. And then I'm kicking myself, by the way, for not getting bloody claws. That was so obvious. Fuck.
I thought you did mention it, we just never did anything about it.
We're not getting what?
I
The
did.
bloody
You're right. I
claws
did
referring to the
fucking mention it.
Bloodhawks. Yeah, you did.
Anyway, yeah, and then, what's his fucking name? Noah slid home on his table. I went home alone.
Yes.
Dirk got carried back to his house. And then I went. How did I go and meet his license? Why was I over there?
Like sort of not East License.
Oh yes,
It's
yes,
also
yes, yes,
where
yes.
you live.
Yeah, I went home. His license was. No, Laz Renlael was on my table. We had a chat. She traumatized to Kalos again. We popped up in front of the gate, scared some guards to the tower, Blackstaff Tower, and then I went inside and asked a guy for directions to the library because he wouldn't tell me where his license was because he didn't know her.
Yeah, basically. And yes, you will be like told where to go through the library. Let me give me a second while I.
No, you missed very little.
And yeah, you will be shown through the tower and taken to the library.
But did I have an escort or was I just going myself?
You are basically just told where to go.
Sweet. I will go there and look for his license.
I don't remember if Rosanna went in with you. I don't think she did.
She didn't. She's waiting outside, I think.
Yeah.
She very specifically did not want to because she didn't want to draw attention
Yeah.
from the last black staff who she didn't know is not the black staff anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was Artisan was the one she knew. She may or may not owe him money from a bet. It's like 300 gold, don't worry about it. But
Yes.
yes, you in the tower. You hang
I'm
the library.
in the library. I look for his
It'll
license.
take you. Yeah, it'll take you a couple minutes. Which yes, I do believe that at this time is like it would be right after. It would be.
I think
It's
this is
around 3 p.m. Islyson had. This is after lunch, so I don't know if we established what Islyson was doing after that.
If I remember right, this was she had done the inscriptions, or was doing no, she had done them, and they were talking over lunch, and then she said, "I have to go," and then went to like a reading nook in a hallway and just decided, okay, I'm just gonna sit here, open this book, try to read, realize I can't read, and instead just ruminate on this. So she's actually in a hall somewhere, not in the library.
Yes.
You know, those little nubbins, those little nooks that come off of hallways towards like a window or something sometimes. That people often just put a chair or two in the side table and make it do a reading nook.
Alright, I'll go in the library. I will see no is license. I will approach the closest person. Hello there. Excuse me.
Oh, hello there.
Who am I talking to? Out of character?
I would assume the lady behind the desk.
Yep, that would make sense. Has a Mrs. Lyson come through here? About yay tall, elf, black hair.
Slouchy, imaginary.
Slouchy, yeah. very goth,
She's not even that goth.
kind of goth.
Talking about not talking about like goth, like the black fashion. He's talking about goth, like the goths from ancient times.
You're right. She's in lamellar armor. She's got an axe and a round shield.
Where's dark purple? Did I mention she was an elf?
It's like a.
You did. But yes, so
It's not. I make that. I
she'll
actually.
She
have
wasn't
the
saying
dark
anything, so
circles.
Akalos was like, I know I already said this, we're gonna say it again.
let's see. Yeah, she will think about it and she'll say, sorry, was that it? Oh yes, the person who did overnight told me about her, as well as the morning person. They said she's just been prowling around for a few hours, but she left a while ago.
What is this?
This is Blackstaff Tower.
Oh, just in the city?
Yeah.
Just the main tower?
Yep.
Fancy.
And then
These
I guess there's
horrible
like
glass
this thing
sail
and this thing.
things. The fuck.
Magic catches.
Uh,
They spin around the tower. These ones down here, they're on tracks.
It
They
kinda
spin up and
looks
down the
like it,
tower
yeah.
like a toy. And the top one just spins around the top in circles.
It's like a giant ridiculous clock.
It's the giant the crystal butterfly from the tower trying to break out into a beautiful trying to break out of its chrysalis.
Now it would be a beautiful
Um,
butterfly.
I kind of agree with Hex. They look like dream catchers that have been cut in half. To me,
To me,
Alright,
they look like
so-
very odd wind sails.
I was like, yes, she did stay the night,
Hello.
so that's probably her.
they're fat collectors.
Wait, I thought this was a square building. Well,
Apparently not.
fair enough, whatever. Alright. Yeah, so did she say where she went?
Oh, she left with some of the other students earlier.
Do you know
Probably
where?
to go get food.
Damn. Is there a cafeteria in here?
Yes, of course. And she will tell you how to get to the cafeteria.
Thank you very much.
You have to go down 2 flights of stairs, and then up 1 flight of stairs, and then down 3 flights of stairs.
Why do we
Down
have to
two.
go down to go up?
Up
Because the
one.
magic is
Down 3. So
Because
don't just go
it's
down 4.
literally described as such in lore, where the staircases, if you're not allowed to go places, take you right back to the entrance.
Is this like the Lost Woods from Ocarina of Time?
Yep.
Okay, let's
Uh,
go. Alright, thank you very much. Down 4 flights, got it. I'll wink at her and leave.
Listen for the ocarina. Listen for the ocarina down up and down the staircases.
Listen to the Skull Kids playing their flutes.
Exactly. Thank you.
Onwards towards the
Yeah.
cafeteria.
Which you will get to.
Do I
Take
spot
a
an
couple of
Lyson?
minutes. You do not.
God damn it.
It's-
Go up to the closest person.
It's
The
actually a
lunch
bit.
lady.
It's actually a bit bare at this point because it's around 3 p.m. or it's between like 2 and 3 p.m. So it's not quite. It's way too late for dinner, but not
Early for dinner.
nearly. It's a bit early for dinner, but a bit rather late for lunch.
Ah, fuck, I really should have asked who the other people she left with were. Alright. Go up to the cafeteria people. Staff. She'll be like, hello there, excuse me. I'm looking for a Miss Islyson. elf to yay tall, about dark purple clothing, black hair, very depressive, maybe having an existential crisis.
It looks at you a bit weird at that part, but we'll try to remember.
She may have come in here with a bunch of other students.
Lawbeard. Moon Elf.
I didn't ask. I regret it.
Yes, I do remember.
Cormanthe
The,
features.
A young woman who came in here, took apart her food, and then didn't eat most of it.
That sounds like her, yes. Sorry, she's just like that. I'm sure your food is very nice.
She'll give you like a thankful smile, just like, oh, thank you for saying that. Even though you've probably never eaten it. But yeah, she'll nod and.
Oh no, it's shit actually. I don't know. It's they don't give us very good ingredients here.
He's licensed behind you. I don't know why you would say that. Her food is shit. Oh.
Sorry, what did you say? She'd give me directions for somewhere?
She like, yeah, kind of shrugs her shoulders and says, well, unfortunately, she left, and I don't, without the rest of her group, and I'm not entirely certain where she went, because, I have work to do here.
Of course. Do you know where the rest of her group went?
I think they might have gone back to her dorm.
Back to their dorm. Do you know
Or
who
back to
they
their
are?
dorm, yeah. Let's see. That is a good question.
If I have to go back to the library.
There's lots of
and
students
ask her.
might not know who they are just
Yeah,
by
no.
seeing them.
It's also the fact
I'm
that the
sorry to
students
say
don't know where
this.
she went.
Well, maybe she told
Sorry
you.
to say, but no, I don't. I can't recall their names just off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
That's all good. Thank you. Wait, how long ago did they leave? He's Lyson and the students.
She left, I think, about 2 hours ago. They left around an hour and a half ago.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will leave and go back to the library to ask her if she knew who the fuck they were, I guess.
Sounds good.
Alright, I get back there, like, okay. So, I found the cafeteria. Not there. Do you know the names of the students she was with? Apparently they went back to their dorm.
Quick question.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you've gone from the library to the cafeteria, right?
Yeah.
Did you take a different path back than you took to there?
No, I don't want to get lost.
Okay, don't worry about it. Never mind.
Little did you know that you had to do the same thing to get back.
Oh,
I have to walk it backwards.
little did you know he's licensed
Like,
with that
not-
left turn. You
You
would
don't have to take the backwards route. You have to take the same route, so you have to go down 2, 1 up, down 3, but you have to do it while walking backwards on the stairs.
Oh God.
Fuck. And they have no railings! Alternatively, and the railings are sized for gnomes for some reason.
Each step is
Perfectly
only
sized to trip you.
2 inches long.
It's witches' stairs.
It's basically a slide.
Each step
A
has
really
an
bumpy one.
alternating size, and each one is different, so you have to very carefully watch what you're doing.
I think Phil was drunk when he made these, but he refuses to change them.
He was actively trying to kill people, setting up the
Anyways,
tower and air of mystery.
So yes.
Oh, if this was a bad time to host the ball bearing
The ball bearing race. The Great Ball
Yeah,
Bearing
exactly.
Staircase Race.
The ball bearing and Hot Wheels convention at Blackstaff Tower.
I know, and then the Slinky Coalition came.
Oh no!
Oh no.
All right.
We we're why did we decide to hold the Home Alone competition here this year?
Oh god. So many paint cans.
Those kids are sociopaths.
All right.
Oh man.
The best part is you got all of that for $12.
True.
Anyway.
God.
So, okay, does she know who they are?
Let's see.
We could probably save some time saying that he looks around and finds her after a period of time, because we know the students don't know.
You just need to look.
Do we want to just skip this until... I'm just gonna be like, well, I know I can't fucking find someone to scry for her or anything, because she's got that fucking amulet on.
I'm incredibly
Yeah, we
annoying
could,
just for you.
I will say roll an investigation and a perception check.
Do you have like a
both.
tourist map I could get? I'll just do this corridor by corridor.
On a sheet of toilet paper, somebody scribbles down.
Investigation and perception.
They didn't go to the bathroom either. They just had it on them.
Yeah.
listen to the cicada like hum and go like.
Listen for edge groans.
I should have traded in my nimble right tracker for his license tracker.
I mean, it wasn't yours. It was
Nick's.
Ivory's.
It's just like the nimble right tracker, but has an emo flap.
But it has it has the emo fringe on it.
You have to you activate it by sort of,
it has Sasuke's
exactly.
hairstyle.
You activate it by flipping the bangs aside,
Guys, it has Sasuke's hairstyle.
and then it starts going like.
Anyways, yeah, with a 16 and a 13, it takes you about half an hour to actually find her.
I ask everyone I come across if they've seen this woman.
Have you seen this?
Does that speed things up?
No, that would be the reason why it would only take like half an hour instead of longer.
Given the time, there's all 6 people walking the halls.
Yeah, most people would
It's
be
like
either
daytime.
Like
it's like 3 p.m.
Yeah,
Oh,
but most
no,
people
fair
would
enough.
be either like in their room studying or like getting ready for like dinner or something. But yeah, it does only take like half an hour because this place is large and confusingly designed on purpose because
To dissuade invasions.
Yes.
All the staircases turn counterclockwise.
We got the. Ah, God, my brain is
Going up.
Anyway,
I should specify that. Otherwise, that's a pointless thing to say.
Yeah, but yeah, as you travel through the city, you are able to determine where is his license.
Eventually,
Where
you're
is
walking
his
down.
license?
You're walking through the woods. You're all alone. Your phone is You're walking down the hall. You're all alone, and your phone is dead.
You hear a noise.
Then, out of the corner of your eye, you spot it. A small, pale, Shia LaBeouf. A purple-sleeved, gloved arm just poking out from the corner of a wall where there's a little nook coming off the hallway. Sitting on the floor,
I just want to...
as you see legs.
No, I was just saying.
Somebody
Sorry,
appears
my
to
brain
be,
was dying there.
Somebody appears to be sitting up against the wall in a little nook.
Okay.
As you approach, you see his license sitting on the floor next to a chair.
How comfortable does the chair look?
It looks so comfortable.
It's so plush.
Yes.
Just sink into it.
Exactly.
True to the shape.
It's one of those perfectly sized ones
There's
that
drag
just
marks on the
caresses
ground. from a room nearby where she's clearly dragged in a chair to sit it there and then stand on the ground on purpose.
Yes, of course.
I just want to say that song. It has one of my favorite lines in all of music, which is "Shy Surprise."
Shy surprise!
Oh yeah,
He's got a gun to your
Anyway.
head
I love
and
the-
death in his eyes.
I love the music video where it's the fucking Citizen Kane reference at the end, where he's the only one in the audience and he just starts clapping.
Yes.
All right.
Anyways,
He went fun
so
crazy.
yeah, you see her sitting next to a chair.
I sat down in the chair next to her and then sort of slide down until I'm on the very verge of falling off, and then my head just like, like it's straight and it just sort of flumps down. So I'm looking to the left down at her. I'm like, "You're a
So,
very annoying person to find sometimes."
there's just a sudden, like, she was staring completely forward. Eyes were leveled at the page of the book, but nothing was moving. You speak. She just suddenly jolts. What? What?
Okay, so Lazarinael is outside. She wants to talk to you.
There's a long stare.
Believe me, it's
How
been a fucking day.
did you find her?
I didn't. She found me. Honestly, she had pretty good timing. Well, pretty bad timing. And then she was actually somewhat useful, to be honest. But then she I don't know. My opinion of her is kind of flip-flopping.
I can't remember if Islysa knows that the party met Lazarinael. I think she does. So yeah.
She does.
Yeah, we told her.
Um,
Anyway, she wants to see you
All right. Where is she?
at the gate. She didn't want to come inside. Something about something to do with the previous black staff. I don't know. Oh, this is a really nice chair. Fuck.
Just
He's just sort of like arms like hanging down on either side, just head fully back.
the butter pat.
Just like it's been a day.
As you're doing that, you just hear the book clap closed. Islyson just gets up and walks off.
You should probably return that, not yours. I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. I'll catch up. Don't die.
She says nothing. And also, it's one of her books, but I don't think you'd know that.
No.
So, yeah.
Kalos is probably gonna sit there for a few minutes before he just heaves himself up with a sigh and reluctantly starts walking back to the entrance.
Fair enough.
Well, I guess Islison's gonna make her way down the tower, and will eventually enter the atrium or the entering foyer, whichever one it is.
But yeah, sounds like the best to me. I think that's
The
my
reception,
favorite one.
the reception hall, whatever the fuck it is, whatever they want to call it in this particular building. The
Yeah, it
vomitorium.
is.
But and over the sound of the people heaving and retching, no. Slice will descend and notice basically herself sitting in a chair in the waiting room next to a drow man.
Oh, she got let inside.
Well,
Oh,
she
I
wasn't-
forgot to tell her about him.
She wasn't forbidden, it was just cold as fuck, so she eventually walked in.
Yeah, she just chose not to go in. at
Yeah.
first.
She's like, I don't want to give him 300 gold right now. Or his apprentice or whoever was there. But so she did enter the building with him. But
Yes.
and there's not much of a pause. It's just sort of looks around, scans, sees her, locks eyes. She locks eyes back with her, puts up a hand with a little smile and does like the finger wiggle wave. Slicin walks over, and I don't know when Kalos gets back.
I'm a few minutes behind you.
Okay. I mean, do you want me to play it all out? Do you want me to talk to myself for a bit, or do we want to skip to the part where Kalos gets back? Do you guys want the mystery, or do you want the story?
Well, I guess we could probably do the story. I know, would you wait until Kalos gets back for emotional support?
No. He's slicing
Fair
zero
enough.
fucks.
So yeah, I guess. For
Go
the
talk
story.
to yourself.
That was me asking you guys at the table. Yeah,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's see. She doesn't really... She knows it's...
No
Okay, so
checkup.
just... Why are you here? No hellos? No. Are you
Here
Lars
to speak
Renaya?
with you about
Why
your
do you look
cause
like
extended
me?
warranty.
Hmm?
I'm here to speak with you about your car's extended warranty.
I'm here to speak to you about your car's extended warranty.
Your teleport circle has run out.
Your teleportation insurance is over. Is overdue. I'm going to need your address. No, I already know who you are. And I already have the answers to everything else. So why are you here? Well, I heard that one of my creations was around this area and was very interestingly behaving differently than I'm used to. Slice and just silent stares, waiting for her to continue. I'll skip the pleasantries then. Tell me, what is your name? I'm Slicin. Just Slicin. No surname? No. Alright. Who do you think you are? There's another pause. I'm not sure anymore. Who did you think you were before? I thought I was my own person. I thought maybe I could be somebody who lost their memory. I didn't really care to get it back. What are you thinking about yourself now? Who do you think you will be later? I'm still not sure if you're going to try to kill me. A sly grin. Why do you think I would kill you? Because you're worried I'm trying to replace you. We really do think alike then. That was exactly what I was worried about. And if it were 60 years ago, maybe I would have without a second thought. But I've decided more recently to be more responsible. And it seems that you've been rather responsible with your life. So let's say I'm not here to kill you. Then what? That could be different. Then I'd ask what you want and why you're here. I'm here to meet you, to see what you're like, to see who you are, to see if you want to keep living, or if you want to learn the truth and give up. I know some of them couldn't take it when they learned. Now there's a much longer silence. What would happen to me if I died? Oblivion. Nothing. you would cease to be. No thoughts, no emotions, no memory, no gods, no afterlife, nothing. You have no soul, so you have no afterlife. It's a harsh thing, but it's true. Then I don't want to die. There's too much I haven't seen, too much I haven't done. Another big warm smile comes up. It's a good way to look at it. Then perhaps we should wait for your friend to come back. You seem to have made a lot of them from what I've seen. Built a life for yourself. Perhaps you should get back to living it, and not worry about if I'm going to take it away. Alright. And Slice just gonna get in, like, another chair to the side of her. There's gonna be silence for almost a minute before... Who's the drow? Oh, that's your... We'll call him your brother for now. So, what, does that make me one of your children to you? Well, now, maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I won't. Maybe we'll never see each other again. Alright. Hi. The drow the drow just leans over.
The fuck was...
They're like sitting in a line, so it's incredibly awkward talking. The drow just sort of leans over. Hello. Good to meet you. I'm Verendir. Right. And then they wait. They wait for Kalos. And
Kalos is really dragging his feet because he doesn't currently want to be around Lazarin.
Yeah, whatever's happening.
So he'll, like, see a nice painting in the hallway and, like, stop and look at it for a little bit. And, you know, like, he's sort of, like, wandering back and forth, you know, like, side to side as he walks down the corridor.
Does it take more than 5 minutes?
How long would it take walking normally? Do we think?
3-4 minutes, probably.
Oh, but no, I would have only been a little bit... Okay. Yeah, I probably waited a good 3 minutes before I got up after his license left, so yeah, it would take more than...
Okay. So
I'm probably only like 6 minutes behind you.
Okay.
It did take about... Yeah, so it would have taken Islysa like the 3 minutes to get there. So when she got there, you would have started moving. And then they were talking for like a full minute.
So 5 minutes.
So dragging your heels, it probably would have been roughly between 5 and 6 minutes.
Yeah. Probably just as you're about to go, where the fuck is he? He's just kind of... Before he goes around the corner, he straightens up and starts walking normally again, though.
So... This would probably happen before... Let's see how patient Islysa is right now. Or, let's see how long it takes for the thought to enter her head, actually. Okay, immediately, so... Not even 3 minutes in.
Where's a bucket and some string?
And I'm gonna need some piss. Anyway, fuck's sake.
Crayons and a face and a placemat.
Wait. What exactly am I? How did you make me? How did I happen? Oh. Well, I thought you would have opened up that question. I thought you didn't care. Well, I've been developing a spell similar to Simulacrum, but less permanent. Though, I later learned that there was a way to make it more permanent. You are a sort of living spell, somewhere in between that and a simulacrum. You are a sentient mass of proto-matter and shadow material, held together by a likeness. It binds to it, treats it as an identity for it to latch onto. It's like how any other living spell works. Many blinks, making connections in head. Akalos probably will walk in while she's thinking about that. So go on, Akalos. You say anything?
So-
As you see, Islyson is doing math in her head. The math in your head mean, and Lars Renlael's just kind of watching.
He'll probably just like walk up to the three of you, and sort of look at his license and be like, "So, how's that existential crisis going?"
She's
all
taking
done?
it pretty well.
Mm,
That's what Raynar said.
I take it like nobody's business. Anyway,
so anything I should be aware of in order to make sure she doesn't die?
We'll get to that in a moment. I think she's making a question in her head right now. Am I?
I didn't
Aw,
really
jeez.
catch any of that.
Oh.
Oh, she's having.
Yeah,
thoughts.
microphone
I'm
cut out.
Oh, mine did? Hello?
Yes.
Sorry, what?
I heard you perfectly fine.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
She basically explained to Islyson that she's something in between a simulacrum and a living spell.
Well, I got that bit.
Yeah, I created.
Thankfully, I got that bit.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you got like.
Thank you.
He asked. Like. Or Akalos asked a question that my brain just immediately deleted for some reason. And Lars Renlael
Yeah.
said, give her a moment. I think she's having her own question soon.
There we go. Thank you.
Yes.
I asked anything I need to know,
Yeah. And Lars
just
Renlael-
sort of generally to the room.
Yeah. Right. And then Islyson will ask, am I just the spell, or did the thing that makes it more permanent happen? Oh, it happened. You were the first one to become their own person. Usually they try to replace me or think they are me.
How'd that go for them?
Well...
Wait, no, we already had this conversation, didn't we, actually?
Yeah, they had to be destroyed.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Right.
Alright. Sort of watching this.
You were exposed to some proto-matter. You were originally just shadow material, a subservient, simulacrum-like creation. But exposure to proto-matter broke that part of the spell, and you sort of became your own consciousness. It clung to you, made a mind out of whatever floating thoughts or ideals I had, I guess, since I was the nearest. I'm still working on that theory on how it collects this information.
How do simulacrum minds work? Do they copy your memories, or are they mindless?
A simulacrum is usually a duplicate of your consciousness that can never grow or learn. The ones I make with my spell, I call it my living lies, they can learn, but they don't know everything you know when they are created. You can only make them have so much of your experience depending on the stability of the spell.
Well, it seems like there's your answer. I don't know, I'm not a wizard.
So, am I just going to turn into
Oh.
you?
You said there was a way to extend her life?
I was getting to that, actually. And no, dear, you're not going to turn into me. If anything, you're already very different than how I was. You have more in common with Verandir here. Verandir raised eyebrow looking at her like, what, bitch? What? Okay. What was that about my lifespan? Oh yes, you probably have about 3 years left to live. Rapid blinking. Or what have I heard you absorbed some remains of a shadow? That probably gave you a couple of years. Okay, and how do I get more years? More emotion from me slicing than ever before. Well, you can absorb more shadow material or more proto-matter. Preferably both. A balanced diet is important, otherwise you'll...
Fucking stole my joke, goddammit.
You will... Too much shadow material and you'll become less real and eventually fade into something closer to a shade or an ephemeral. It should be reversible, but I don't really know for sure. Otherwise, you could become so stable that... This I'm not sure of at all, this is wild speculation. You could become so stable that you cement, or you could simply plateau, I'm not sure. I haven't seen one of you absorb that amount of proto-matter and then live and die of old age, so I can't tell you. Okay.
Is there a way we could get a hold of you if one of these things were to occur?
Well, Islyson has seen me now, and if my intention is really that important to her, her studies of magic will become good enough for her to do that on her own. Let's put it that way.
I'm in it in less of an intention and more of a help I've turned into a ghost way, but okay, that works.
Well, I've told her how to be careful. Let's see if she can do well. Besides, I have enough babysitting to do.
Alright.
Again, Verandir now sulking.
Brr.
Bitch, I'm 55.
No, he's like 15. He's 16.
But yes.
Any more questions, Islyson?
You know about the bird.
And the bird is the bird. Not that I can think of. Well, good. Anybody else have any questions?
I mean, I feel like the only other person here would be me.
Yeah.
There's no one else.
Yeah, no one else is in the room
sort of
except
like
for. There's one more.
Looks at the other guy who
Yeah.
has no real stake or gives a shit about any of this.
He kind of does, kind of doesn't. It's that thing where, like, you're 16 and you don't fucking care about your mom's business.
It's like, not really. No. Wait, are you going to be making more of her?
Nothing permanent. What you're speaking to now is a living lie, in fact. Huge smile.
I'm just going to turn to his license like, don't start making puns about this, please.
He's...
All right. Sort of claps his hands. Well, no, I think we're pretty much done here. Looking at his license.
I don't know. Yes.
Great. Well, it's been an experience meeting you, Lazar and Lyle. Can't say I want to do it again.
Oh, I think you will.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I think you will.
Right. Thanks for that. I don't know. Maybe I'll warm up to you. Okay. He
Can't
sounds
say
very
meeting you
doubtful.
is the experience I want to relive.
Like, right. Well, okay. Bye, I suppose. We should probably be going. Lots of things to do. You know how it is. We gotta go and fight a swarm of crabs, amongst other things. So you wouldn't happen to be interested in investing in a bar, would you?
Is the bar the one that
Help your daughter out?
Is the bar the one I met you in a minute ago?
Yeah,
A
it's
few
not
minutes
open
ago.
yet. We're still repairing it.
Mm-mm.
It's got good bones.
Thanks for a moment. No, too dull.
Damn. So disappointed. Cool. Sort of like looking at his license, like, we're out of here. Doesn't say that obviously, but like, he's not trying to be subtle here.
His license, like, sitting in the chair, you know, hunched forward, elbows on knees, hands clasped, sitting at the floor thing. She's, what is it, the Shinji pose, Shinji on the chair right now.
Kalos is gonna cough, sort of like look around the entranceway. He's like, you know, I haven't had lunch since I fought those super zombies. I'm gonna go get something from the cafeteria.
As it gets more and more awkward, Lizardo
See
smiles.
ya. He sort of walks away.
The more awkward the situation gets, the bigger Lizardo's smile gets. I guess he didn't want me to take him back to the manor. How about you?
Does she say that out loud as I'm walking away?
She specifically waits until you're just barely in earshot to where you may or may not hear.
You got a pretty good passive perception, I'd say. You just barely kind of catch it.
Sort of pauses, thinks about it for about 0.3 seconds before it's like, nah, fuck that, I'd rather walk. And keeps going.
Lazar and Lael, who had entered such a smug grin, you know, just hand on face pose, waiting for you to round the corner again. Oh,
no.
It's no fun.
She probably caught his like momentary like pause for a second. Slight head cock, keeps walking.
How about you, Slicin? Would you like a ride home? You live at the manor.
With your mother?
Heard. Yeah. Sort of. She's sort
I'm
of
cool and hip, aren't I? His license.
She sort of no-sold it every time you use that word. But
How do you do, my dear fellow?
But
My fellow kid.
how do you do, my fellow children? Oh, it's greetings, fellow children.
God, Steve Buscemi in a freaking skateboard.
Those Buscemi eyes. Anyway,
They aren't looking in the same direction.
It's fine. But, I'm trying to think, did Slice have any business she needed to get done in the library? Let me check her spell list.
Yeah, I think she's fine. I think she was mostly at
Yep.
the school just because she didn't want to go out in the cold.
And then in proper slice and fashion, thinks on it for way too fucking long, and then out of nowhere, yes, let's go. Oh,
Oof.
good, you're over it. Let's go then. So, I don't know what's going on with the Kalos, but if he returns, they are on.
Kalos is gonna buy something nice from the cafeteria. Something nice, you know? What's like the best food they got? Something extremely flavorful.
They've got very spicy stuffed bell peppers.
I'll take it. How much does it put me back?
Let's see. For one order, it'll cost you about 5 copper.
And I'll get a nice drink too.
Can I have some sin?
Alright, he just wants to experience some sensations right now.
Some sensations, anything.
Yep. Reminded of his tether to life. Let's go burn our mouth out, I guess. With bell peppers. Alright, and then he's gonna
Nothing makes you feel
finish
more
his meal.
hanging.
He's gonna finish his meal. He's gonna sit there for a moment. He's like, if his license hasn't come to get me, either she's still contemplating her existence, or she's fucking left.
Meanwhile,
Let's
with
go
his
see-
slice in Renlael, they just pop out of the shadow, walk into the manor. You're going to have to teach me how you did that. It almost instantly snaps out of her funk. Teach me how you did that.
And now to
This is
stop
it.
you from doing it again, because this is my house.
Then there's like a voice from the ceiling that says, "Yes, this is a very good trick."
Oh, would you look at that?
Oh, would you look at the time?
Dappled? Botis?
Yep. Pulling you to the ceiling.
Yeah, let me check something. There's unknown frogman, or no, she met frogman. Never mind, she met Botis.
Yeah, she did meet Frogman. Frogman
Yes.
knows.
Yes.
Frogman hasn't been updated, but Frogman does know.
Yeah.
Which is why Frogman is also a little surprised to see Lazarin Lyle and Ice License, because the last time this was the last that Dappled knew, Lazarin Lyle was being rather
KG.
cagey around Ice License and didn't want the others to let Ice License even really know that Lazarin Lyle was in contact.
Yeah.
So he seems a little bemused, but is still affecting that smile he puts on for people that he's entertaining.
Kalos is working his way through his bell peppers and feels his spidey senses tingle and looks up. It's like, shiver runs down his spine, and he's like, something's fucking going on here. Someone goes back to his bell peppers.
There's fuckery afoot.
Something's in my fucking house here. God damn it. If I see that cunt again.
You can't say that.
So yeah, there's a thin, muscular, but still sort of like glistening eyebrow that's somewhat raising, or in this case, going towards the floor. It says, "Oh, you have her. Hello, assassin. How are you doing?"
Are you on our
I just-
roof? Or on our
Ceiling,
ceiling?
technically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was actually waiting. I was waiting for you to come home, Madame Lazarin. I assume she knows.
Oh yes, she knows everything.
Oh, thank God! I can stop lying to myself. All right. So, what is the extent of its knowledge of its existence?
Just
Yeah.
unanimous between Eastlyson and Lars Renlail about to say something, holding, looking at each other, looking at Bodis. Everything. I just told you that.
Oh, very good. So, I have had a couple of days to ponder on this. Eisleisen, are you still possessed of some sort of crisis?
Thinks for a minute. Don't know.
So there is wiggle room for you to be annoying, is what you're telling me.
There's always room to be annoyed.
Okay, so there's wiggle room for you to be annoying. Sorry, I'm running an emulation of Eastlyson brain over that phrase right now. Annoying is a spectrum, true. Annoying is a spectrum. You know what? That will be your answer. Annoying is a spectrum.
Okay.
Lars
Very good.
Renlail
So-
gives her such a look of just like, oh my god, you just said that too.
So, exactly. So what exactly is it? Have you found that out, Madame Lasren?
I've
You
always...
seemed a little unsure.
I was unsure of her disposition. I know what she is.
Very good. Was she... Okay, very important question for me going forward. Was she an intentional creation?
You're using she instead of it.
Sorry, you're right, you're right.
right.
Redacted.
What the fuck are you doing?
Was it an intentional creation?
Yes and no. The creation was intentional. What happened with it wasn't.
Yes and.
Rigby.
Yes, it.
Mordecai and Rigby.
So yeah, Dappled sort of crouches a little bit closer to the ceiling. He's doing like little cat biscuits on the old sort of like cat biscuits, right, left, as he's sort of thinking, going, yes.
Yes.
Where
I'm just
is he
imagining
right
him
now?
doing the like Spider-Man upside down thinking crouch.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then eventually he sort of like he uncurls himself, sort of hanging from his arms for a bit. Now keep in mind he is under, I think, let me check here. It's been a while. Yes, he is under 3 feet tall, so he's like more than his entire body length is still like dangling from his feet as he just sort of lets himself drop, and he stands up.
Yeah.
And
when
he
you
says,
drop,
yes.
you hit something solid almost 3 feet above the ground. It's flat. You
Oh,
don't
what do I
like
hit?
hit a chair or anything. But you look
Oh,
down,
okay.
you're floating. You're standing on nothing.
Oh, okay. Does it feel solid?
Yeah, feels solid. Doesn't feel... Feels hollow too. Hollow.
Okay.
Flat
Well,
surface.
Dappled is in the presence of a demonstrably potentially like two magic users,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So, I think he's going to take this in stride.
Okay.
As he just sort of but he does sort of like crouch down a bit like a giant purple poisonous tree frog, as he
Yeah.
says. So I'm going to lean. I mean, given its disposition, I'm going to lean more towards the accidental side, shall we say, of her. Oh, what was the? I was having a bit of a philosophical discussion about such things with Leland here. What was the word he used? And he starts like snapping his fingers, and it's wet. It's wet and heavy
Ew.
because he does have like small palms and long fingers, so it's like smack, smack, smack,
It
smack.
probably doesn't even make the sound, it just makes this squelch kind of thing. Just
Yeah, exactly. Like squawk, 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 squawk.
like,
As you says, yeah. A sublime apotheosis. I actually had to look up both of those words. It was very illuminating. A sublime apotheosis, basically coming the emergence of a personality is accidental, unplanned for. I am willing to bet.
I'll have to meet this Lelanthea. He seems rather bright.
Oh, he is. He is worth my time. We will leave it at that.
At this point, you see Verandir actually like shuffle over to his slice and whisper something in her ear. Slice and side-eyes him.
Would I have
Oh,
heard that?
that's
I have a passive perception of 16. Would I have heard that?
Let me see.
Uh,
Verandir. It's a stealth check for that, right?
yeah.
I don't know why that came up as he's slicing.
If it meets the beats, yeah.
Yeah. No, he didn't hear it.
Cool. But I did see it, so it's just give him a quick little sharp look. I don't even really have to shift the eyes to do it, as he says. So, it is good. Everything is as it should be. It knows it's not special. Very good. Very good. I can deal with this.
Oh no, she's quite
I
special.
love the complete and utter dehumanization of his life.
Here's the thing, Slicing doesn't care. But
Well, it's like who said she's special?
Larsa and Niall. Well, actually, she's very special.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a dismissive wave. He's just. It is another unintentional. It is another unplanned for birth of another mammal into the world. It's not so special.
I mean, it depends on who you ask if she's considered a mammal.
I suppose we would know if it could get pregnant.
She can.
Oh, then yes, mammal.
Any living spell can. It's a normal thing. If I remember right, there is a wizard out there who lived in the 1300s. His mother was a living fireball spell. It was quite interesting.
Oh, this is actually quite interesting.
Air Genasi.
Actually, yes, that is actually quite interesting. But I mean, ultimately, you know, I have been waiting for it to get its act together so that it can lead me to the ship and I can search for the crossroads of life and death. So I've had a lot of time on my hands. I have made some money. I have delighted some nobles, but I have had a lot of time on my hands, and
You see,
sublime apotheosis. Sublime apotheosis. It is interesting. It is interesting, but it is ultimately not up on the scales of reality and life. I do not think it is so remarkable. Another unplanned for birth.
you say that. I'm not going to explain it to you. It's more fun this way, actually. You'll learn one day. Maybe. Possibly.
Maybe.
Do you practice magic or study cosmology?
I pick up things so that I can be a pleasant and interesting conversationalist. So we will say yes. I am ultimately, though, what I am. I am intentional. I am planned. I
like the weird elitism and like, oh yes, I'm real.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the,
no.
I know.
Yeah, like he is a grung. He is a grung. He is a grung. So literally, his birth was his life path was picked out for him by people that he is absolutely 100% convinced are his betters. That's where he's coming from.
Yeah.
So, as he says, I am intentional. I have a place in this world. It is like any other mammal.
How well do you know what is real? Like, the smile's been growing with every eye. With every eye, the smile got bigger. How do you know what is real?
There are certain philosophers amongst many.
Hate to interrupt us, but I have to leave now, so...
Shit,
Go
I
ahead.
thought we had
Good
this
boy.
time.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. See you later.
No, that's absolutely... Okay, Loss, you know what? We'll figure out what happens later.
Yeah.
Okay, Loss, he probably won't be relevant for the rest of the session.
Or will he?
There are certain.
I'll try and buy a coat. I'm sure they've got them for sale somewhere in the store, even if he has to get a fucking branded one.
Sorry, they only have, like, Coach brand.
They have RC Cola.
Ugh. Oh.
Alright. Well, see ya.
See you later.
Good night.
So yeah,
I think that's my favorite joke in the Family Guy movie, where it's like Stewie and Brian crash the Quagmire's RV in the desert, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's a Coca-Cola machine," and then they get there and it's like,
Ugh,
"Aw,
an
it was just a
RC.
mirage. It's an RC Cola machine."
Hey, RC Cola's pretty good.
Like even the joke being that even when they're dying of thirst, they're not gonna touch that shit.
To be fair, it's a diuretic anyway. But
is basically like Lazar and Lael is
yeah.
staying in.
How do you know what is real?
There are certain philosophers, both of the tedious as well as the magical variety, that do state that the objectionable realities around us are little more than a collective phantasm. I know that much.
That is a part
It is
of
very. It is. There's a chuckle. It is a very favorite topic of conversation amongst drunk men.
You've touched on part of it.
There is specifically amongst some of the and there's a flicker of something. GM, can I ask for a couple of insight checks, maybe even 3, if the teenager gives a shit?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, sure. That's
All
fine.
right, can I get an insight check from Icelyson if she cares, and as Renlyle if she cares, as well as also the kid if he cares.
About what specifically? And
there is a flicker of something
about
that
like his answer, or
bubbles
you're asking
up, bubbles up through his mask, through the mask he places for the benefit of humanoids, because he is not a humanoid.
Yeah.
But his
He's a
profession. He is technically a monstrous humanoid. That said, however, he
Different
is,
psychology.
which makes him still vulnerable to all the stuff that humanoids are vulnerable to. But there are several very important distinctions. That said, however, there is something that comes through the facade he puts forward for the sake of his profession, and I want to know what, if any of them might be able to suss out what it is, as he goes on to say of a certain flash ego-driven magical persuasion, shall we say, that what is real is fail. All right, so he is alien. This thing is alien. As the facade, again, it's just a flicker. As the facade comes back online, and he goes on to say, as if a certain ego-driven magical persuasion, that is to say, the ones who through force of sheer willpower, surety of self, can cause the magical underpinnings, shall we say, of the cosmos to bend to their will. Yes, they say, on the subject of perhaps personal reality, that we are the only things that are real are people like them.
Getting closer.
Hmm.
They've gone a bit deeper.
Beyond that is also a what you may say, what I have learned is a very popular thing to bring up amongst some people who choose to dabble without study. If you know what I mean, people who fancy themselves of certain bloodlines or talents.
Right.
As for me, I'm not entirely sure, and I do not care. I do what I can to survive. I do what I do what I must, and what I promise. Beyond that, beyond that, it is party tricks and ways of wielding further tips.
And we're at the entrance. I'll save the stable.
Where
But,
would Apple be? Probably around.
actually, wait, you don't have furniture yet, so she's actually sitting on the bar using it as a chair.
Yeah, so he was waiting for the others, so he would actually be around here, about
I
where
would imagine you'd be like on the second floor, where it's like where Islyson lives.
Slice lives
Since
on
you
the
can't
third
actually
floor.
get to the. Islyson lives on the fourth floor.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, since you can't actually get to the second floor from the first floor.
I thought we were on the first floor in, like, the tavern room, like the entry tavern.
Yeah.
Like, we
Oh,
came
is
through
that
this
where,
door. This door.
Okay. We never established that. We
Yes,
just said,
she walked into the tavern part of it, and it's there. Like, as she walked in, Bodis encountered them, and the conversation started, and she just sort of drifted over to here and took a seat on the counter. Verandir's probably around here, actually. He's leaning up against this wall.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you have again just a Bodis sitting, just crouching on
Should be closer.
an invisible thing about 3 feet above the ground, as he literally just said that ultimately all of this philosophy and the questioning of what is and isn't real it's just part of his job.
dumb and cringe.
Yeah. But,
Not that he's stupid, he's got a job to do.
to put it bluntly, I figured out how... No, go ahead.
I was
go
gonna
ahead,
make
Will.
a joke that he's He's not stupid. He's just apathetic.
Exactly. Exactly. Existential crisis is cringe.
Cringe.
It's
Dumb
dumb.
and
Some
cringe.
say cringe.
Cringe and
It's in the
dumb.
way.
Also,
Exactly.
Slicen's like... Yeah, probably just awkwardly standing here.
Yeah. So exactly, like he just said that it's just a means of doing my job and getting more tips, which is why he then gives a little narrow frog-like shrug. It is a little bit too mechanical to actually be like not
It's like-
learned.
It's too slow and drawn
It's
out.
it is a taught TAUGHT, a taught
It's an
motion.
affectation, yeah.
It's an affectation, purely an affectation,
Yeah.
for their benefit, as he says. Ultimately, questioning such things. You see, where I come from is it is a quick way to get yourself killed. It's just too much of a distraction.
It's my entire field of study.
Really?
Yes, you see, the line between reality and falsehood and imagination, thought, things like that, it's not as thick and defined as people like to think it is. You only need the littlest push to find yourself in the middle. Even beings
I
that
don't-
were born into this world conventionally can find themselves in East License Place.
Hmm. On the one hand, magically speaking, I have seen troubling things. I have put troubling things into motion. And then the facade completely drops again, just for like 3 whole seconds. Just the curve of the smile goes completely straight as top and bottom lip peel back to reveal sharp peg-like teeth.
Yeah.
And then there's a blink as though he's remembering himself, and the smile is back. As he says, I also know that such things can be experienced by those who are a what is true-born among mammals. Those those who know their sire, who profess to know their mother, for completely mundane reasons. I mean, I myself, I am a creature of illusion in many respects. I did offer you, I did offer you my services. I could show you things you have never experienced before. Things that would make you question who you were, if you so desired. But, but, my point in that regard is that to me is a crass material thing. This thing he motions towards Lysa. This thing
She was like fiddling with her hair. What?
this thing is no more special, at least to me, as a jar of my skin secretions. It is certainly more. There's another flash teeth. There's another flash of teeth. There's a tightening of the muscles along his forearms and his legs. He almost looks like he might leap at Ice Lyson. And then he relaxes again. He says, "Useful, utilitarian, surely, but you know, so is any other piece of mammalian meat. In short."
This. I'll put it simply. The reason E-Slicing is important is because she's a proof of concept. Well, I've done the proof of concept before, but she's the only surviving one right now. I have proven that reality can at least be partially manufactured. That's why she's special.
Yeah, that's how manufacturing works, dumbass.
Yeah.
Special.
She's made of nothing. I made her up. She's not real, yet here she is. She can move this chair into that chair, and the other chairs still move. She truly reacts and interacts with the environment. She's solid. She can create beings that are completely real. If she were to reproduce, what would come of her would be completely real.
Somewhere Akalos just has a
Horror.
shiver go down his spine.
Exactly. And meanwhile, there is the smile and a narrowing of the eyes, but again, that coiling of strength of the readiness to lunge, as again he is bodily aimed at Islyson, and then he relaxes again and he says, the possibilities of a manufactured cheapening of minds. It is bothering. There will be conversations later on. I will. He leans back a little bit, lifting both hands as he just sort of like starts rubbing his temple, like the little spot above his ears and behind his eyes, and because there is in fact like smearing over the green tips of his fingers. There's a milky substance.
Would you like to insight check Lords Renlael?
Sure.
Yeah. Probably with advantage, because you've seen this before.
Okay. There we go. Insight with advantage. Clicky-do. 21.
That same mad little grin you've seen on Islison's face when she messes with somebody and it truly fucks with them. So where they just have that complete, who, when? That confusion, that little grin. Lars Renlael's face. And she has, moved down from the counter and stepped over to behind Islice and has her hands on her shoulders, so they're, right next to each other.
But he's just giving this. He's leaning back and he gives this sort of a frustrated groan.
Yeah. She's soaking in that frustration.
And there is how familiar are any of these drow with poisonous creatures?
Well, the only drow in the room is
Sorry, the only other person of these three, who is the most familiar with poisonous creatures? As they watch a thick, milky substance sort of smear and bead between Dappled's fingers as he's rubbing a very specific pair of spots on his head.
Yeah, I would say Lars Renlael and Verandir would be the most well-versed, but Islyson would be well-read. Verandir through his Underdark years. Lars Renlael through her years, and Islyson through many books.
Okay. Then they would all be aware that Dappled is, well, for lack of a better word, he is milking himself in a stress response as he then says, "Oh, there is going to be hard conversations. Things will be demanded of me. I didn't like this, but I will deal with it when I can. Possibilities. There will be tasks. I don't want to have to steal from a powerful wizard.
You could certainly try. What I'm saying
I will
is-
have to. If they ask it, I will have to try.
I'll
That's
try
the thing.
You should really lighten up, dear, and I'll try not to kill you if it comes to that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just don't maim me, please. I have
Oh,
I have a thing. I have a thing next week. I've been invited to a banquet. I will be. It is
don't
with
worry.
Thank you.
Don't worry. Whatever I do to you, you won't even realize happened.
Okay, thank you very much. So just so long as I can attend the banquet. Just so long as I can attend the banquet, it promises to be very lucrative. But yes, like slaves on demand. That's what we're talking about here. There will be demands for your notes. There will be demands that I take samples from it. Oh, it's going to be an entire thing.
Oh,
And I'm already searching for the crossroads of life and death. And I don't even know what that is.
Crossroads of life and death. That's a good question. But, you wouldn't be the first, and you won't be the last. Now, I just wanted to tell you that what I have here, and she's like shaking his license by her shoulders a little, is a gateway between reality and falsehood. It's very interesting. The ears have perked up, the eyes are wider, there's just a great interest. There's about a full minute and a half of yammering about, like, magical theory and, like, what this spell represents to the magical community as a whole. It's just so...
It's wizardly nerd shit. Meanwhile, Dappled is gonna take advantage of that to sigh, or I should say, not so much sigh, it's just take a little breath and pull out a glass vial and take the opportunity of this fucking moment, and he will finish milking himself
Yeah.
while she goes on.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Let me look into this one.
I'm gonna add a couple of basically 2 vials of grug. I'm gonna deduct 2 glass vials from my inventory and replace them with GM's permission. I will replace them with 2 vials of grug poison, grung poison.
Yes, grug.
That's just fine.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate Matrix and stuff. What?
Oh yeah,
Matrix theory.
comical talk, bit making joke about what is real and what is not.
Yeah. Well, I mostly just wanted to tell you.
Grung poison. Yes.
I mostly just wanted to
I do
tell
not
you.
understand the people who take the Matrix that seriously.
Well, it's not about the Matrix itself, it's about Matrix theory, that we're in a simulation created by a hyper-advanced civilization. Is the idea. It's not specifically the Matrix.
You know, people want to feel special.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't mean you're special, that would just mean that you're battery farm product, more or less. Anyway,
Well, they want... you know what? I'm not going to get into it.
it would make you
Let's
less
move on.
special if that was true. But, the... Okay, so he's milking himself with venom. He's saying he might have to steal from Lazarnael and get samples of his lysin. Lazarnael's caused a bit of trouble. She's messed with Botis, which is very fun. It's probably... No, there's no need to. Well...
Dapple eventually does recover himself, and he looks at Ice Lyson as he says, I take it that we are in for a little bit of delay. You and your, I don't know, lover, guardian, the hairy thing, the hairy one. You and he and the pleasant young woman. I like her.
Which young woman?
I don't want to hurt her. Ivory.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I
I
didn't-
have. Yeah, she has given me no designs to hurt her. I find that refreshing. But yes, I assume that our little unmarried band is going to be delayed in leaving the city until the storm passes.
turns and looks at his
I mean,
license.
considering the fact,
Let me.
considering the fact that Dapple would probably freeze solid.
Well, no. He definitely wouldn't. But
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
has the stone, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about that.
Looks.
he
it's
is
nice.
one of the few beings that actually has free reign of the city right now in this storm.
True. Well, you'd still have to worry about traversing all the snow and shit, but yeah.
Yeah, he could stick to walls.
Yeah.
It's mostly the wind.
There's
Pain
also
in the
the
ass.
issue of, is that the warming stone that emits heat, or is that the one that transmutes an area into room temperature?
Thermal cube.
I think that's the one that emits heat, so,
Yeah. So he's also gonna have to worry about like melt water and shit.
yeah, and also you try to climb on the wall, and your hand immediately freezes to it, and takes at least a good few seconds to a couple of minutes to thaw off of it, and frostbite has set in.
Is there two cubes?
No.
There's one effect that like transmutes the area into a comfortable temperature similar to Tiny Hut, and then there's one that just this cube gives off heat enough to warm an area to this amount.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
One's an emitter, the
Which
other's a
is- which-
transmuter.
yeah, which happens to. I would assume that happens to the.
It's one's an
It's
evocation
just-
effect giving off heat, the other's a transmutation effect, just
Um,
changing the temperature.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
So-
I mean, he's not gonna freeze to death. But still, traveling around is gonna be a bitch.
Yeah. It's just an important detail. But,
Yeah.
Well, to prevent taking up all of your time, unless you all want to join me for drinks, that is, because, well, I have nothing better to do. I planned this to take much longer. I'll simply leave you with Mr. Dappled Shade, I believe it was.
Yes.
You really need to learn how to let go of uncomfortable things. And eyes to the left, eyes to the right. No, that's all. You just need to learn to let go of uncomfortable things and ask yourself if this is what you want to do with your life. Bye. And go ahead.
Are you sure you? I have nowhere else to be right now. If drinks are still on the table, I could maybe join you.
She was approaching like the shadow that would have been like here, coming off of the bar.
Exactly.
One
But
foot,
yeah, like,
one foot is like half submerged into it, as if stepping in a pool of water. Unexpected, very well.
you did just give me some rather good advice. This, he says as he points down at the nothing that he's crouching down on. Is this your doing, or is it doing it?
I would be very surprised if she could already. No, I'm not doing it.
Cool. May I please be let down so we can get some drinks?
So, at that, you're going to see both Larzernlael and Verandir just sort of melt into the floor and disappear as... Or no, they wouldn't do it yet. Not yet, sorry. Sorry, wrong order. Reading the spell effect wrong. So, out of the shadow that Larzernlael was about to step into, steps another Larzernlael, another Verandir, These two then melt into the floor, in the wrong order, and are gone. And then
Okay.
out of the shadows steps something I don't have a token for, a shield guardian.
Oh, cool.
That is going to be this big gray square that I am not closed up enough to. This big white
Oh
square.
no, are we going?
This big,
Oh no, are we going? Are we going Calibshan on the
Yeah,
drinks? Because I'm not gonna pay for everything that thing can drink. He
no,
does say that out loud.
no, dear, we were just coming to you in person. When I asked you if you knew what was real, well, I wanted to see what you thought reality was. None of what you've... Ah, good. It's a large creature. Yes.
Yeah.
You've never been speaking to anything real to begin with.
But you heard me.
Yes.
Therefore, I was speaking to you.
You were speaking to a duplicate that I made and was watching through.
Yes. Okay.
Because you see,
Yeah,
and then as if
yeah.
walking upstairs, another Miser and Lael just appears, and they speak at the same time. Illusions within illusions are very effective.
Yes, but I was still speaking to you.
Sort of.
Again, one of those. One of the. I mean. How drunk are you right now, Madame Lazar and Diane?
I've not been drinking at all. And then
Then
this illusion.
then you probably wouldn't appreciate a philosophical debate as presented by the more tedious sources.
And then the other illusion walks into Islyson and then walks out of Islyson as another Islyson. And is now just looking Islyson up and down. I'd still love to hear about it. Okay, now that's weird, says the other Islyson.
Oh, is it? It's pretty cool, but I mean, is it? And then there's a baby Akalos, baby Akalos with cat ears, just sort of like squiggles along on the ground like that. That's better.
This Islyson sinks into the shadow, into the floor, and walking up from behind and to your side to stand, to stand here right next to you, is another dappled shade. That then speaks into your voice. Yes, I do. I think it's very good. It's gone a little weird there, but it's fine.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
You went fortune with that one.
Yes, I think it's very good.
It definitely has its uses. I mean, you walk. Imagine me. It's just he's again. It's hard to tell where Dappled is at any time because like the facade is there. Again, the facade is there. He could actually be like. He's already milked himself, so he can't really express things naturally. Like his body is less apt to betray him as he. But again, there's also like he's a creature of lies and deception and his own sorts of illusion, as well as also magical illusion. So he's like, yes, me, I agree. It is incredibly cool. Like you send the baby into the. Hold on a second. He begins twiddling his fingers, and the illusion, and the baby Akalos with cat ears begins crawling towards Lyson, and then leap, and like it leaps almost like a little jungle cat.
Yeah.
striking her in the chest with the like silent fury, and out the other end pops a little baby version of Ice Lysing. Like, imagine if I could, imagine if I could do that and have sound.
And then out of your baby leaps another one as you see the Dapple Shade next to you cast the spell. And it does have sound. Yes, that would be quite interesting.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh, the things I could learn. Magic is incredible, but I shouldn't have it. That's the thing. That's the thing, And the thing that I was. My reality. Uncomfortable things. Uncomfortable truths. Things I cannot control. It, like, dappled actually vanishes. I would very much like to be let down, please. And I would very much like to get a little drunk, if that's okay. If
You'd
it's
very
still
much
okay.
like to what and what?
I would
let
very
down.
much like, be let down and get drunk and have, and to basically, get away from it. Maybe discuss the promises that I made to you for it. It is not. It is. It is special in its uniqueness, not in its nature. It is special in its potential, not in its nature. I can respect. I keep the promises that I make. I am keeping the promise that I made to you. I will safeguard. I will keep it alive. I will stop it from making particularly foolish decisions. Well, we need to discuss things of that nature. But again, Miss Lesrenlyle,